Howdy folks, Bluesboyjag here, yet another 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. It's how to play the boogie. We're tuned to open G. It's an A string tuned down to a G, a D string tuned normal to D, and a third or G string tuned normal to G. Very common open G tuning. Let's get right to it. Mainly you're going to be using your first finger and your third finger. And really, the trick is in your right hand because of the rhythm. So let's just start doing a straight strum. So this is your engine. The fancy stuff is done with your other hand. Actually, both hands are pretty fancy if you really get down to it. So this is your boogie rhythm. It's just a quick up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's really important to move your foot along with your hand. So when your foot goes up, your hand goes up, and when your hand goes up, your foot goes up, just like there's a string from your hand to your foot. Alright, so once we get this part done, then we can kind of get fancy with the other hand. So I'm doing just a slide from the 2nd fret on the 2nd string up to the 3rd fret. And I'm pausing a tiny, tiny, tiny infinitesimal amount of time. So it sounds like I'm going, but really I'm going. The trick is start out slow, then speed up. I'm also choking with that hand, but for now I'm going to forego the choking. Notice how I'm pausing a tiny, 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 tiny bit. Here's the super slow version. I'm also choking. Now we speed it up. Now I'm just jumping to the 3rd string. There's just all sorts of permutations to that, but that's the gist of it. Now I'm choking with this hand, so you want to start out without choking with that hand because it can be kind of difficult if you've never done it. So let's start out the easy way. On the 1st string, sliding up from 2 to 3. And my right hand is just doing down, up, down, up, down, up. Just like a horse clomping down the street. Now we're going to add the choke. I'm not changing my right hand at all. I'm choking with the left hand. I'm choking with the 2, 3, 4 fingers, and I'm using my first finger to fret. And you can do it with any string. I'm sliding up on the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string. The trick is choking with this hand. It's a little tricky at first. Start out slow. fast choke with this hand, you can do a lot of really cool riffs. On that one, I'll slow it way down. Remember, I'm choking with these fingers, I'm fretting with my first finger. So when I say choking, I'm fretting with that first finger, choking with those two. It is tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, you almost can't stop doing it. Choking with the fretting hand, super important. I'm also using my thumb sometimes to mute that third string. When you see me doing that, that means I'm muting the big string. Now I'm unmuting. So you can hear that low G. Now I'm muting it again. Unmuting, muting, unmuting, muting. Now I'm doing a hammer. You get the idea. This is your engine and it keeps on going. And you just kind of change what you're doing with this hand and experiment, and you will come up with dozens and dozens and dozens of really cool little licks within about 5 minutes. Just get that engine going. So now I'm not going to choke at all. I'm going from the first string to the second finger, or first string to the second string, with my first finger. No choking at all. Like a straightforward shuffle. Now I'm going to choke. Real slow. These three fingers are flopping everywhere, and those are the ones that are doing the choking. My first finger is doing the fretting. Now this one's kind of tough here. You see my second, third, and fourth fingers just flopping everywhere? That's because they're muting and unmuting really, really quick. Now I'm doing a pull-off. This is a double pull-off. Well, sort of. It sounds like a double pull-off. It's really a double strum single pull-off. I'm pulling off the second string on the third fret. You can do any string on any fret. How about from the first, on the first string from the third fret to the fifth fret? Second string, third string. All right, so let's do a little bit of a boogie here. I'm going to do about a 1 minute little improvisational boogie. By the way, I'm choking with that hand. If you don't know how to do that, you must learn how to do that, because you can't do a John Lee Hooker boogie without choking that hand. Fret, which 4 chord would be what in the key of G? C, correct. How about going up to the 5? Actually 1. So I'm just slowing down the tempo. So let's start out with open. Then your first finger on 2, 3. And then jump over to your first string on the 3rd fret. Lots and lots of choking with that hand. How about a real fast boogie? Here's a double pull-off. And I'm pulling off on all 3 strings on 2 different locations, from the 5th fret to the 3rd fret. And we're all on the 1 chord, right? G. Here's a slide up and slide backwards. 4 chord, which is C. Back to the 1. Slide up, slide back down. I do that all the time. Sounds really cool. What you're doing is sliding up 1 fret, back down again. From 3 to 5. First string. Second string. Third string. Now let's do some slides from 2 to 3. We're not even going to touch the 5th fret. That's more of a major key sound. That would be your major key country kind of a song. That's your G major scale, a very small G major scale. It's basically 0, 2, 4 on all 3 strings. That's your major key. Only 3 strings from. So here's a major key pull off, and I'll do a minor key version of this in a second. I'm going to pull off from 3 to 2 to 0 on all 3 strings. So I'm pulling off 1 4 to 1 0. And I do the same thing on the 2nd fret. Same thing on the next 2 strings. Sounds like bluegrass. If I can do it. be muting with this hand. So you start out slow. And then you speed up. So I'm just going from the first string, 2nd fret, to the 2nd string, 2nd fret. But I'm choking. Choking with the fretting hand. So far we've only done the 1 chord, right? We haven't done a whole lot of the 4 or the 5. So this is the 1 chord. This is a major scale. Sorta, kinda, sorta. So here, that would be, quote, country. Here's your minor. So it's 5-3-0 instead of 4-2-0 on all 3 strings. If you want to sound more rock and roll, more blues, you want to go 5-3-0. And don't forget, this is in a lot of my different lessons here, play the 4th fret too. You can walk down from 5 to 4 to 3 to 0. Sounds great, doesn't it? Right? It sounds totally rock and roll pentatonic. Because it is. I'm just going from 5 on the middle string to 4 to 3 to 0. Just experiment. Now bend it up. On the first string, 5, 4, 3, bend that 3rd fret up. And I'm muting with the fretting hand. Now do the same thing on the middle string. And of course the 3rd string. So far I haven't really gone to the 4 chord or the 5 chord. That's, I guess, for the next lesson. Thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my website, jagshouse.com. Cigar box guitars just like this one since 2004. Order one today, makes a great gift, and we'll see you next time.